Hello there everybody, my name is Hocus and welcome back to another episode in the Minecraft Let's Play series. Today we are working on episode 80 of the series, so another milestone here. We're at 80 episodes now, 20 away from potentially the next world tour and also 20 episodes away from the 100th episode, which is kind of cool. We're closing in on that landmark very quickly now and things are going very well in the world for us as well. So if you're with me for the last episode, you will recognize immediately where we are. We are over at the mob farm. That is towering above us, up above the clouds and right into the sky, as you guys know. And last episode, we took some time to further the expansion of the storage system, which is behind us. And I've also been running the mob farm between episodes. That's why that you will see some of the lights are stuck permanently. That's because the shulker boxes in those systems are full of the items that we've designated to them. And we also, aside from expanding the storage system, put this wall up around the farm, added some lighting, and did a bit of general maintenance in order to stop items from flying out of the system rather than going down into the water streams below. So as I said, things are looking really good around here. The mob farm is fully functioning. Of course, the facade is the only part of this build behind us that we have in place at the moment. The back of this build is full of redstone. If we quickly take a look, whoops, I'll show you guys. So if we get flying, you can see behind the farm, we still have exposed redstone, so we're going to have to do something about that as well, of course. But for now, things are looking up, as I said. So without further ado, let's jump right into today's episode. So initially, the first thing we're going to be doing in this video is actually taking a break from working on the mob farm. We've been putting a lot of time into that in the recent episodes, so I thought we'd come down here to the exit, to the surface from our base, and give ourselves a safe opening out onto the surface even when it's nighttime. So what I want to do is here, I want to create a sort of a 5 wide boundary all the way around and then sort of make it into a kind of a circular shape. So we will extend out 5 blocks on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And then make sure that we are clear 5 blocks on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, just about. And then same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect, we are. And then I will probably bring in a floor design that is similar to the one that we have over here, or a path design I should say. So we're going to have something like this surrounding the exit. I don't plan now on making all of my paths look like that because it's kind of time consuming and I don't want the paths to look too perfect, if you know what I mean. I want them to kind of be scattered and twisting and turning around the landscape. I don't want them to be straight. So I had a couple of ideas about what to do here. I think what we'll do is we'll take this path all the way around the sugarcane farm so that it completely encapsulates it. And then any paths that branch away from the sugarcane farm can be a different design. And of course, not as linear. And we'll also use the same path design around our exit here. And then any paths that come away from the exit, again, won't be as linear and we'll use a separate design. So I'm going to get to work on that and I'll bring you guys back in once it's finished. Okay, I've told a slight lie because I told you I would be back once I finished. And as you can probably tell, I'm not yet finished, but I've got a bit of a dilemma here. So 2 different designs that I can't decide between. So one, we've got this zigzag wall here that of course extends out just by 1 extra block because otherwise we wouldn't be able to connect them. So we've got that design, or we've also got this design where we've just left the diagonal in and there's gaps between the wall blocks, but we've also put in these slabs just to make sure things are looking connected. I don't actually think mobs can make it through a gap like this, or at least I can anyway, so we should be fine without the slabs, but it looks a lot better with the slabs. Just helps to bring the wall together a little bit and stop it from looking so detached, because of course we do have gaps in between the walls. I'm kind of weighted more towards this design. That's why I've began implementing it on this side as well. However, I don't know. So if any of you guys have any suggestions or any priorities that you would rather me take here with this design, then do let me know in the comments, please. But I think for now, I'll go with the slab design where we take out this back section of wall here. Like so. Then we also need to remove the wood blocks because they aren't required anymore. And then instead of having the zigzag pattern, which I don't really like in Minecraft, to be honest, I wish they would introduce a way to have diagonal walls. I think that'd be a lot better and look a lot cleaner because, of course, at the moment, they don't attach diagonally. And when you do make the zigzag pattern, it kind of just looks too chunky for me. So I think we'll go with this pattern for now. This design for now. And of course, we can definitely change things in the future anyway if it doesn't work out. But I think this is okay. So this is what we got so far. I just want to install a sort of pagoda-like ceiling thing here. It's going to have a gap in the middle so that we can fly out, but I just want to have it installed so that we've got a semi sort of roof looking thing just to build it up around here a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that that's complete before we come back. And once I've completed that and polished up the area, maybe added a bit of lighting as well, I will show you guys the final design. So there we have it. We are done with our entrance to the surface there, I guess. Obviously, there still could be changes made to it. I'm still thinking about maybe raising the pagoda sort of thing up by another block, just to, I don't know, give it a bit more elevation. I think it might look better. It kind of looks a bit stumpy at the moment. But, you know, as I said, changes can still be made. This is all that we're working with at the moment. And I'm still undecided about the walls around the edges. We could still revert back to the diagonal wall design that I had first of all without the slabs on top. But at the moment, we'll leave it as it is. And if I get any suggestions from you guys, I can implement them. And if I come up with anything else myself, I could also implement that. But for now, we'll leave it as it is. It does kind of look a bit empty out here, right? So maybe once we've got some bushes? I didn't mean to say bushes. I meant to say trees. Maybe when we got some trees, some paths, and some other foliage outside, things might look a little bit better. But for now, it's kind of barren, kind of empty, and things are looking a tad bit strange, especially these random builds that we've got like this and like this. They're not connected or anything like that at the moment. So once we do those sort of things and plant some trees, as I said, I'm sure things will look better. But for now, this is what we've got. And I think we're done with it for the time being, and we can move on. So I'm over at the Guardian farm now, somewhere you guys might not have seen on camera for a few episodes now. We still have work to do here, actually, coming to think of it. It's quite dark, isn't it? It looks quite dingy in here. We need to add a bit of lighting and just pretty the room up a little bit more because the ceiling's still messed up. We haven't fitted our fixtures in the sides here and all that good stuff. But the reason why I'm here is to just get a bit of experience because firstly, we need a new shovel. This one's on its way out and it's getting expensive to repair. Also, my pickaxe could do with repairing. I mean, it's not very critical at the moment, but I still will get it repaired. And once I've got all of this up and running, so of course enough experience to enchant a shovel, not a pickaxe, and repaired my pickaxe, I'll be back over at the base to enchant that, and then we can move on. Here we go, enchantment time. So, what are they going to give us? Efficiency 4. Okay, so not the best start, but we could actually pull this back around. So one thing I have been doing as well with the books that we have left here, of course we've still got one there, but we don't have much leather either, so I can't craft any more at the moment. I've been trying to stack up some mending books because of course, as you guys might have already known, villager trading will be changing very soon in this game, and once it does, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get mending books very easily, so I figured grab some now while we can, and then hopefully we won't have to worry about it in the future as much, and we can just take our time with bringing back our villager trading system. So I thought I'd stack as many as I could before that update comes in. I'm still working on it though, so don't worry. I'm not going to just stack 3. That wasn't enough, and of course we're already down to 2, so I'm going to have to get more anyway. But I figured that that would be the easiest route forward. So now we have a mending shovel, a mending axe, and a mending pickaxe. Perfect, easy to repair at our Guardian farm. And we're up to efficiency 5 on the shovel too. So this is about the best you can get, I would say, in terms of a tool set. Silk touch on both of these items. Obviously, we've got a mending silk touch pick and a mending fortune 3 pick. So at the moment, things are looking good for us. Changes. Okay, you can probably identify straight away what we've been working on. And you are correct in thinking that we are putting a roof over this thing, or at least starting to put a roof over this thing, I should say, because we aren't finished by any stretch of the imagination. But I've got something started here. It's very basic, of course, just a birch slab roof, and we've got a few different height changes and stuff, which adds into the complexity of the build, making it look quite cool. But we're going to go around the back for a second with our oak logs and try to line up where the roof will finish. So we only need it to go past this point here, I believe. So if we just come 1 block away, so back 1 this way, and then line it up there and there, I think that'll work, right? So we bring the roof back to this point, and that should be good because we're leaving ourselves one block gap between the redstone and the back wall, which should work out perfectly. And then the roof can sit atop it nice and flat, because of course we do want to put some design work into the back as well, just so that it's not looking bland. So we can use this gap here to indent our bone blocks or whatever we decide to use. And I think once we brought this all together, it will look fine. And as long as the redstone isn't showing, then I'm not too concerned, to be honest, because, you know, redstone is the ugly part of the build. Although it does all of the work for us, it isn't the most appealing side. So One other change I think I might make, maybe not in today's episode, but soon enough, is that we will probably have something of a similar shape to the item elevator on this end of the build as well, just to make it symmetrical. And we also do need to bring the build out ever so slightly for this reason. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm out of control. We need to land. I'm going for the tree. I'm going to make it. Perfect. There we go. If you can see, the water stream actually pokes past the build by 1 block, so we do need to extend it out a little bit further this way. And we'll just do a bit of terraforming eventually to bring this rock face out to support the build itself. But for now, we're going to just be putting the design work in place and not worrying too much about whether or not the ground could support it realistically. Alright guys, so I keep looking over here at what we built earlier in the episode and something just isn't sitting right with me. So I'm going to try a different wall design here. Something that doesn't involve either walls or fences. Or, well, it does, but not in their basic standard use. So we're going to go ahead and use a combination of all of these blocks here to try and come up with something. Not entirely sure if I'll use each of them or what's going to happen here, but I think really I want most of it to be based around the use of leaf blocks. So if we go ahead and pop a few of these leaf blocks in like so, then we'll go ahead and throw some of that in. Put in a wall here or there like that. Okay, and then we can start building up the next layer. So we'll go with a piece of cobblestone there, another piece there. We'll go with a piece of gravel right there. Throw that there. Maybe switch these two out for a second and try and use something a little bit different. Okay. Pop a couple of those in. And then we'll go up one more layer, I think. So we'll start with a few leaf blocks. Maybe get some leaf blocks into the second layer as well, actually. That was something we didn't achieve there. So switch this one with that one. And we'll also go ahead and pull this guy out. Pop a leaf block in there. And then maybe one more somewhere. Actually, no. For now, we won't go with one more. But we will pop a few in on that layer just to make sure that we've got them in place. Then we'll go with andesite there. We'll chuck a bit of gravel in there. Let's get back the regular stone walls. Pop one up there. We'll go with another piece of andesite here. Gravel there. And how's that looking? Okay. I think as well, maybe top it off with slabs, just to be double sure. Let's get up here and jump across. There we go. And then just slab it off, just to see how that looks. Okay, so now we want to get a vantage point so that we can have a look at this design, just see what we think about it. So is that any better than what we had? Maybe too tall? Yeah, possibly too high. Maybe bring it down by a layer. That might actually change things for the better if we do that. So I'll just get rid of this. Get rid of all of this layer as well. And then instead we'll just place the slabs on top of the second layer of blocks. So on this layer here maybe be better. And we lost the slab somewhere in the process. There it is. Hop up, place it up there. How does that look? Maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, it's not the greatest, is it? But I think it might be an improvement over what we had, because I really don't think this is good at all, the way that we used the stone wall here. Well, I hope the changes that I've made are for the positive and not retracting from the build. I'm finding it tough with this one, honestly. I usually do find it tough with builds outside because, of course, as I said, they're in a 3D space rather than more of a 2D space, like when we're building down in the ravine. Of course, you're just building a facade down there, really. However, out here, you need to have all angles covered to make sure that everything looks good. I do definitely think the walls look better. They look more solid, more secure now. More like an actual wall would in real life, you know, not just with huge gaps in it, which you don't tend to see very often. I also raised the pagoda by a block as well. The pagoda is what I'm calling it. It definitely is not reminiscent of a pagoda, really, but that's what I'm going to call it. It is the centerpiece to our entrance and exit. Maybe planting some trees, as I said, around the area might actually cause this to look slightly better, but let's get an aerial view anyway, just so that you guys can sort of gauge what's going on here, especially with the night coming in. You can see the lighting as well. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, it's definitely better in my opinion. The wall that we had, first of all, was just horrendous. Really didn't make sense at all. Didn't work very well. But now things are rising to look a little bit more clean, a little bit more polished. So I am happy with the changes that we made. And I think it was sensible to go ahead and increase the height of this by a block as well, just to make sure that it stands out a little bit. The flowers as well was something else that I was kind of skeptical about. I don't know what I've done wrong with them. Maybe not thinking too much about a color palette was an error. Or maybe not. Maybe it does look good. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear what you guys think about this, because I'm kind of, as I said, I'm kind of skeptical about what I've built here. But with some ideas from you and maybe some inspiration from you guys, I could improve it, or maybe we could just leave it as it is. Maybe I'm overthinking this and maybe it isn't as bad as I believe it to be. But one more thing that I've just remembered before I am going to skip on to the next part of the video here is that we have died quite a few times since our last death. I know I said it took me 75 episodes to die for the first time, but I've probably reached somewhere close to 10 now ever since that first death. But you guys know what it's like. You can be death-free for a long time and then go ahead and the floodgates kind of open and things just go downhill from there. But I'm trying to find where it says the amount of times I've died. Where is that? I can never remember. Since last death, 1 hour. So I've died this episode, as you can see. I fell to my death. Where is deaths? Where is deaths? Where is deaths? Where is deaths? Number of deaths, 6. Okay, so we're only on 6, which isn't too bad, but that's 5 since my very first death. So not anything to be proud of, really. Okay, so I decided to make more progress with the Shulker storage system here, and good progress we are making. The ceiling, or the roof I should say, because we're on the outside of it, is pretty much there, or thereabouts, and now we are working towards getting the back of this place set up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to transfer the designs from the front side to the back side. So in the 2 wide gaps, we will have bone blocks stretching all the way from the bottom to the roof, and in a 3 wide gaps we'll go ahead and put in a mixture of the stone brick, the cracked stone brick, and the mossy stone brick as we have on the front. But I'm just working, as I said, on bringing this all together. So we're just going to be here stripping a few of these logs, placing in the bone blocks, anything we can do to further this build along. And then once we are at a point where there are only minor changes left to make, we can go ahead and do those changes, or make those changes, or make those installments, and hopefully tie this whole build together and make it look nice and good. Alright then, you guys, we are unfortunately coming towards the end of the video here, but I just thought I'd bring you back in quickly to show you the progress that we've made here on the Shulker storage system. So the back end of the build, I think, is looking clean enough. The bone block, stripped oak log, stone brick, birch slab combo, a lot of textures there, is working actually very well. I think really because the birch, the stripped oak, and the bone are all quite similar. And then you have a bit of a change with the bricks. I think that's why it works so well. Just like having the accent block in our base, which is the green, or you could argue it could be the brown as well, because a lot of our base is grey. I think just having that one accent block or one accent texture works very well. And here we've got the grey stone brick that kind of sticks out and just gives the build a bit of a different feel in certain locations. So let's take a fly around before we end things here, just so you can get a better grasp of what we've got going here. Of course, we also built this entrance exit thing here as well, which could be subject to change still. I don't know. I'm kind of undecided. But this is the Shulker storage system, and I'm quite happy with how it's turning out so far. So if you guys have any suggestions, of course, leave those down in the comments below, and I will implement them if I feel like they're a good idea. If not, I might try and take some aspects of them and implement them, so don't feel like your suggestions are going wasted even if they don't get implemented. But that is going to be all for today, you guys. So thank you very much for spending time out of your day and watching my video. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, then drop a like down below. That will be much appreciated as well by myself, and also will help the channel out. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or anything to say in general, pop that down in the comment section below and I'll be sure to get back to you on that. And finally, if you're new around here or you haven't subscribed yet, then firstly, what are you doing? Come on, subscribe. No, I'm kidding. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you do feel like you might want to, then go ahead and click that subscribe button down below to stay tuned to this series and anything else we decide to upload. Once again, you guys, thank you very much for being with me today. I do really enjoy your company and your presence on the channel. Make sure to take care of yourselves, of course, take care of your families, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.